in a cafe in Bali, and it is beautiful and warm, and I'm sweating like anything. just trying to cool down inside here in the fan. So something that I've been thinking about talking about for a while now. Actually, I've been putting this off. Because anger is not pretty. Anger is not something I like talking about. Anger is not, I don't think it's a respectable quality to have, and yet it is something that I battle with. Not battle with, but it's something that I have to consciously work on all the time. And what I'm going to share with you guys today is what is it? What is anger? Why do so many of us experience it? And how to deal with it, and also how to live with less of it, because life with anger is not pretty. If anyone experiences this for themselves, or if anyone experiences living with someone with anger, or is in a relationship with anyone who lives with or has to deal with anger, who is an angry person, has angry qualities or tendencies, you'll know how undesirable and how unpretty it is. And I'm sharing this, so this was inspired a couple of days ago. I had something happen where I felt really angry. I felt very frustrated, and hey guys that are jumping on, I felt really frustrated. I felt very, very angry, and for me, anger, like I said, it's something that I have to consciously work on all of the time. I grew up in witnessing a lot of anger, a lot of violence, lots of aggression, and I learned anger as a way to cope, as a coping mechanism from a very young age. And that's exactly what it is. It is a coping mechanism. It is a coping tool to deal with so many things in life. And that's why I've actually, over the past couple of years, really been brought to my attention of how, hey Tracy, thanks for jumping on, hun. It's been really, really brought to my attention in really unpleasant ways of how much I battle with anger. And so situations, I sort of don't even know where to start. There's so many, but something happened the other day, and it was, and I'm going to share this tool with you as well, so that you can break down where your anger comes from, so that you can not have to deal with it as a frequent emotion, because anger itself is one of the heaviest emotions that we can deal with. It is one of the biggest fear-based emotions that we battle with as humans. And like if anyone has experienced being in a rage or witnessed someone in a rage when anger has taken over, it is such an egotistical emotion that when we are not aligned with our higher self, we are fear-based. Our egos are always fear-based, which is when we experience anger. So it's often when something doesn't go our way, or I'm going to share with you some tools that you can figure out what it is for you that you experience anger most, because they'll always boil down to either one or two or three main things. And so for me, anger is a coping mechanism. It means that it's fear-based, and consciously overcoming it the last couple of years has been something that I have honestly struggled with, like something I have to really, really, really work on. And so let me just, first of all, the situation the other day was when I had, I posted something on social media, and someone commented pretty much, they really didn't agree with me. Their point of view was opposite of mine. And when someone doesn't believe me, that is, the video cut out. Let me know if it's back, guys. Let me know if I'm still here. The Wi-Fi does say it's on, but Bali. Yeah, and so the thing that triggered me the other day was when someone didn't agree with me. They had an opposite point of view to me, and it's something that I'm so passionate about, which is spirituality, which is knowing that we are spiritual beings in human bodies. And someone really disagreed with this point of view, and that really, really fired me up. It really triggered me. It made me feel really angry. And now, just to give you a bit of background, so I used to be so angry, especially while I was drunk. And one example is I can't remember what the situation was, but I was staying with my parents a couple of years ago, and I was so angry at something that happened. I got so mad at my dad that I picked up a burrito and threw it at him. Like, who does that? Seriously, someone with anger issues does that. I've kicked holes in walls. I have thrown phones. I have destroyed relationships. I have done so many things out of anger that I'm really not proud of, but they are part of my journey, and so I'm sharing with you how to not have to go through them again. So this thing that happened the other day with this person really disagreeing with me really fired something up inside of me. Now, what I did is I put it down to 3 different tools, 3 different things that I do when I'm experiencing anger, or when I feel anger boiling up inside of me, because we all know that anger is such a powerful Oh, just if you're still with me, let me know, because the Wi-Fi's cut out on Facebook, which is not good. So when anger is boiling up inside of you, it's such a huge emotion that we struggle to deal with. So what you can do is, there's a couple of things. I'm going to give you some practical tools, and I'm going to give you some awareness tools, which is where the pre-work comes in, right? It's where you do the pre-work so that you can experience less anger in your life. And one of the first things that you can do when you're experiencing anger is, and this is going to sound really simple, is to breathe. Okay, it is breathing, taking 10 deep breaths, really slowing down your central nervous system when you breathe, right? So you're giving yourself a moment, a couple of seconds, a couple of breaths to really remove your ego from the situation. Once you do that, once you have removed your ego from the situation, give yourself some affirmations. Okay, so it is all okay, all is well, this doesn't matter in the scheme of things. Whatever the affirmations are, make them positive, but decide on them beforehand. So I want you now to come up with one affirmation or two affirmations that you can use next time you experience anger. Think, in the big scheme of things, does this matter? In the scheme of life, does this situation right now matter? Probably not. So that affirmation, all is well, all is okay, everything turns out all right. All right? And deciding on the affirmation beforehand, deciding on an affirmation that you'll use right now, means that you'll be more likely to use it when you're experiencing anger. Okay? Asking, what would my higher self do, is the third thing. All right? So the first thing you've got is breathing. When you're experiencing anger, when you feel anger coming on, breathe. Use the affirmation that you've previously decided on. And the third thing is asking, what would my higher self do? What would your higher self do in this situation? Would she or he act in anger? Or would she remove herself from the situation and choose a loving action, choose a loving response? And I encourage you to ask yourself now, when you're not experiencing anger, to decide what your higher self would do when she or he feels angry. Because I guarantee it is not how you would respond in anger. The pre-planning that we can do, okay, so those are the three practical tools in the moment. All right, so in the moment, breathe, affirmations, asking what would your higher self do. After that, or before that, whenever you're ready, really taking the time to understand, first of all, where did you learn anger? So like I shared before, for me, I learned it from a very young age. It was a coping tool. Whenever I felt that my safety or or I was going to be in danger, I learned anger as a coping mechanism, as a coping tool for protection. Okay, which means as an adult, I now have to unlearn it and choose love over anger. All right, I have to choose love over fear, because anger is fear-based. So conscious awareness tools before, like if you can do this right after watching this, do this. Okay, where did you learn anger? The second thing, what makes you most angry? Now I want you to come up with a list of things that make you most angry. See if you can come up with 10 or 20 situations, places, people, times, whatever it is, what makes you the most angry. Now, from this list, see if you can ask yourself, what is the common theme here? What is the common theme between all of the things that make you angry? What is the common theme across all of these different circumstances or situations in your life that you feel angry about? Because I guarantee they boil down to an even deeper reason. Now for me, after a conversation with one of my coaches, we actually figured out that I get angry when I don't have control, because of times in my life when I didn't have control, that my safety or I feared my safety. All right, so anger is my response. So when I don't have control, even to the point of like if I can't find some washing, or if I can't find some clothes that I've put somewhere in my room, my floor job as I call it, I feel angry because I don't have control of that situation. Not so much now because I use the techniques that I've just taught you, all right? But the common theme there is not having control of a situation. The other thing is when I feel misunderstood, or when someone doesn't believe me, like the situation the other day when the person disagreed with me on my spiritual point of view in life. I felt so frustrated, but I breathed, took 10 deep breaths. All right, I used the affirmation that it's all good. They've got their point of view, I've got my point of view. And then I asked, what would my higher self do? And my higher self responded to that situation with love and compassion and understanding. And then I've worked out, actually, that was a learning tool for me, because I thought the only reason I got angry was when I didn't have control of the situation. But there's actually a deeper reason there, is when I feel misunderstood or misheard, or someone doesn't believe me. Again, because of times in my life that those things have happened, that I felt like my safety was in danger. Now, as an adult, you have a choice to either continue in these cycles and either continuing to let fear, aka like anger, fear, rule your life, or you have a chance to rise above it, creating much more peace and clarity in your life and the lives of everyone else around you. Because it's never fun living in anger, it's never fun living in fear. We don't choose to do it, it's a response, it's a protection mechanism, and it's also addictive behaviour. And once you've created awareness about it, doing these steps of the practical tools that I've taught you, of breathing, affirmations, and what would your higher self do, and then the 3 conscious awareness tools of where did you learn anger, what makes you angry, and what's the common theme, and when in your life did that make you fear your own safety. Doing those things, I guarantee you, will help you, or someone that you know, if you share this, tag anyone who this may resonate with, this will help you to live a life of less anger. I guarantee it. Alright? Which means that we can be living a much more peaceful, happy, thriving life. And I encourage you to give this a go. I encourage you to do the inner work, so that when the time comes that a situation makes you feel angry, you've got all of these tools in your belt, you've already done the work, that you can experience a much, much, much more more peaceful life. That is all I will share with you today, and I've just realised it's cut out on Facebook, so for those of you who were watching the live, I apologise. I am in Bali, and it's alright. I'm not in control of the situation, and I'm not going to be angry about it because I've done all these tools. Lots of love to you all. Have a beautiful day.